We saw Evander Kane taking more regular rushes on a line. Is he an available player for you tomorrow, Jay?
You know what? I haven't followed up with our training staff just yet, but I think all signs are pointing in the right direction. But I'll follow up, and we'll see tomorrow morning. But it's a good sign.
Whether it's tomorrow or Wednesday or maybe next week, what does Evander Kane bring back when it comes to the intangibles for this team?
Yeah, I think I see a hockey player with great on-ice habits, like someone that goes hard to the net, takes pride in his wall work, someone who's physical, someone who understands ways to change momentum in the game that have nothing to do with scoring a goal. He's a real valued member of our team.
What did you learn about facing David Pastrnak last week when you saw this team, and how hard is it to?
Yeah, one of the best shooters in the NHL, somebody who I think displays a passion to play the game, is the almost the emotional catalyst on that team. So we're going to have our hands full in trying to contain him. I thought as a team we did a good job in Edmonton on that regard. But in the end, we didn't find the 2 points we wanted in Edmonton. We played a good game, but we didn't get what we wanted. And tomorrow, that's what we're looking to do, is to get what we want, which is 2 points.
How did the Bruins, do you think, get to this point? So many points, such a huge goal differential, just so good.
You know what? In my history in the NHL, I've worked for 3 different organizations, and I've been part of teams that have had years like the Bruins are having right now, and seems like all the stars are aligning for them. In the end, they're well put together, they're well coached, they have a good blend of experience and youth, and it's going right for them right now, and that's a credit to everybody involved. Our job is not to pile on with the praises. Our job is to try and find a way to get 2 points tomorrow. And we believe that we have the people in the room to do that.
What's the best way to go at them to get 2 points?
Yeah, well, I think they're a team that does not beat themselves. So you can't help them beat yourself. So that comes down to managing pucks, managing different situations that occur during the game. And then when the opportunity to strike is there, then you strike. And I thought it was a well-played game in Edmonton. We had the opportunity to win that game. But in the end, we made one more mistake, and they found a way to win. Now it's our turn to repay the favor.
They've mentioned all year that teams are always looking to their games and looking for those 2 points. Yeah. From your perspective, when you're hearing all the praise, as you mentioned, and everything else, is there an added incentive when you're playing the Bruins? Does the praise kind of piss off the guys in the room?
You know what? I would say the way we go about our business, we have a good team, and we believe in our group of people, and in our opportunity that's before us this season. I think we spend a lot of time talking about tweaking our game, tightening the screws on some of the areas of our game, and that's where our focus is. We have nothing but respect for the year that the Boston Bruins are having. But in the end, tomorrow, I believe, comes down to us, our level of preparation, our level of execution. And if we do what we know we can do, we think we have the opportunity to win the game. And that's where our focus is.
On the power play, it's not just you guys that are having a great year. League-wide, the trend is up 20%, something like that. So aside from skill, do you see something in terms of systems or concepts that teams have kind of settled on that the average is up?
I think there's a combination of things. I think goals in general are up. I think lead changes are up. I think that's a factor of a few different things. One is, you mentioned, the young skill that's coming in the league, I think, is finding new ways to score. I think you see skill throughout lineups now. With the power play specifically, I think it's interesting. I mentioned earlier my time in the NHL. It's almost cyclical. I remember being in San Jose and having a 20% power play, and that was top 5 in the league. And now it's not. So for me, what do I see? I see coaching staffs finding ways. I see elite players finding ways to beat the types of kills that we're seeing. And I think it's attributable to the skill, but also the hard work of the players and the coaches trying to find solutions to penalty kill answers.
Do you still get a kick of kind of changing the setting for practice, getting to come to a college barn like this?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great barn. There's a lot of history. I think coming to Boston is in itself invigorating. Just the passion people have here in Massachusetts for the game. And, the energy in our building today was, you could feel it. There's lots of people here watching. They care about seeing the game's best player. They want to see him, how he practices, how he performs. And they want to see how the Edmonton Oilers go about their business. And I think when you're in an environment that may be atypical, like a college arena, I think there's benefits to that.
A lot of guys would have played college hockey here. One of them was Devin Shore. How do you kind of summarize his game since the trade deadline? He's been really good for you guys.
Yeah, I think since Devin Shore came, not just since the trade deadline, but since he started to get back into the regular rotation, started in Colorado. He had gone down to the American League and got kind of his engine up and running again, playing a lot of minutes. And for him to contribute the way he's contributing, I think it's important. And you know what? I think at this time of year, you need lots of contributions up and down your lineup. We talk about it as a staff. This is the we time of year. And we're going to need everybody. And we have a strong belief in the people in our dressing room.
A lot of fans will watch Connor McDavid and be amazed by what he's able to do. And from your perspective, obviously the talent is there. How does he go about maximizing the talent to achieve the consistency that he has in becoming the game's best player?
Yeah, well, I think what most people don't get to see is the sacrifice involved in his life. From the time he wakes up in the morning to the time he goes to sleep, he's driven to be the best that he can be. That involves thinking a lot about the game, preparing himself physically, ensuring that he's doing what he needs to do to evolve as a player. I got that question about power plays. He's very different now than he was 7 years ago on the power play, and that's him, and a credit to him, finding solutions to problems. And I think that's what he does. And in the end, he has insatiable desire to be the best that he can be. And he pushes himself like no other player I've seen.
I was going to say, you're a few games in, a couple in Nick's case of having a couple of new players. And as a coach, what do you try to do, not just even from the hockey side, but from the life side, to get two players acclimated, one who's been on a new team for the first time?
Yeah, as well. And I would say the human side, they're both family men, young families. So their world was turned upside down. I think probably both of them, I don't know if they were expecting it, but they were, knew it was on the radar. So important to make sure their life is in order away from the rink. And then, when it comes to the rink, we're not trying to overload them. They're both veteran players. We give them little pointers here or there with how we want the game to be played. I thought it was important today because it really was the first practice with both of them there. We had a good theme heading into today. And then you do little things like Matthias yesterday was able to go to Nashville and spend time with his family and get them prepared for their move up to Edmonton. I think the best thing about both of them joining our team, other than their just attributes that they bring to the rink, is the fact that both are excited to come to Edmonton. They're excited to join the Oilers organization. They're excited to get involved in the community. And I think the more players that we have that take pride in that side of things, the better it is for the on-ice product.
One quick question. Sorry, Brad Marchand this morning said, he's an incredible player, Connor. We're seeing one of the best ever. We're hockey fans too. Everyone's always kind of kept their eye on Connor, but do you feel that maybe because of the numbers he's putting up, the team success, that it's even reaching kind of a new level for a guy who's already been at a really high level?
Yeah, and you know what, I would go back to your question too. I think the one thing when the Edmonton Oilers come to town, we have everybody's attention in large part because some of the players that we're able to dress, including Connor. And the result of that is when people's antennas are up, is that you get their best game. And we should be ready for that tomorrow night. This is the league's leader in wins this year. A lot of things have gone right for them. It's a credit to them. But we know they're going to play their best game. We better make sure we're ready to match their effort and execution.